So I have recently just hit 8,000 subscribers on YouTube. So first of all, thank you ever so much to all the 8,000 of you that have subscribed to this channel. However, I'm going to be greedy. I want 10k by the end of the year. So if you enjoy the content and you haven't already, then subscribe, because why not? It's free and you're helping me out, and I'd love you forever. So, how should Doctor Who end? That is the title of this video. It was also a suggestion from Patreon, so thank you very much. However, it's a question that, I'm not gonna lie to you, I've actually thought about a couple of times, and okay, this is kind of a spoiler for the rest of the video, but I don't think Doctor Who can end, as in, I don't think it physically can end. I'll get to why a bit later on. However, I want to talk about, personally, some of the options that I see for Doctor Who when it ends, and also why I think that technically it can't really end. So I think I'll get the most grim and morbid and most final way out the way first. So I think you kill off the Doctor. Now you see, the problem is, it'll probably end in some epic battle. I'm going to assume against either the Daleks or the Master. I can't really see any other villain against the Doctor where the Doctor finally dies, where that would be satisfactory, at this stage at least. I think because the Master is like the Doctor's Joker to the Batman that is the Doctor, or Sherlock and Moriarty, you know, that sort of dynamic, and the Daleks are the Daleks. I think it had to be one of them. But either way, I think if you do go with that, where the Doctor just flat out dies and doesn't regenerate, and it is like, yeah, this is it, the Doctor's dead now, no more adventures. I think that is one of the only ways where it would be like, yep, no more. Should Doctor Who ever do that though? No, I don't think so. I think the problem with it is, even if you do kill off the Doctor and you do have that sort of final, like, the Doctor is dead, there's no more regeneration, 20 years down the line, they'll bring the Doctor back anyway. We've seen it in Doctor Who countless times with various different characters who sometimes it's explained, most times it isn't, such as Davros or the Master. They're just brought back constantly. Why would the Doctor be any exception? I think in terms of a dramatic sense, I think that would be quite a big deal. You kill off the Doctor, and I imagine that would be with the intention to let the show rest for at least a decade. But even then, like I say, Doctor Who still technically wouldn't end, because someone would probably bring the Doctor back years later. Are you sensing the theme already? The next option, I think, would be similar to Survival, in the sense of, alright, not necessarily a happy ending or walking off into the sunset, which is kind of what Survival was, but as in a very open-ended ending. Didn't seem right saying ended and ending after each other, but it was right. So I think something like that, where it is that unambiguous ending where you as the audience aren't necessarily going to see those adventures that will now take place, but you know that the Doctor is still out there and the Doctor is still going about the universe, you know, fighting monsters and aliens, saving planets and all that sort of jazz. I think this is the most likely option because I've seen it before. And whether or not, I mean, I could be wrong on this, but I don't think during season 26 they knew for definite that this was going to be the end. I think they had an idea and they did rewrite the ending and all that sort of stuff. Correct me if I'm wrong. But again, it's not like a final end. Like, you can see that there is a natural jumping on point from the end of Survival, and alright, they didn't necessarily handle it in the best way in the TV movie because you have so many questions. First and foremost, where the fuck is Ace? But you can still see that there is room for whoever it is to come in to tell another story, and I think if they did that, which they probably would, if ending the show was going to be a thing, then I can see that being the option that they take. Again, whether it's cheesy or a bit cliche, where they literally walk off into the sunset, I don't know. But then again, most Doctor Who episodes end with the Doctor leaving and going somewhere else, so why should this be any different? But again, the door is left open for more adventures, even though the Doctor dying would leave the door open for more adventures because you could just bring the Doctor back. And this is kind of the problem. When people say, like, how should Doctor Who end? Like I said, it physically can't, because there is going to be some way that the Doctor will always manage to come back, even if it is, there's a long gap like there was before, whether you kill the Doctor off. And the thing is, even if you do it in a way where you write it into the episode, the Doctor has been killed off, it is impossible for the Doctor to be brought back from the dead this time. You can still do more Doctor Who. And the reason for that is, at this stage as a franchise, Doctor Who is so big within itself. It's bigger on the inside is the words I should have said. Why didn't I go with that first and foremost? But because it is such a huge franchise, you don't have to tell new Doctor Who from the sense of you're continuing the story. Look at Big Finish. We're getting new Doctor Who from doctors who haven't even been on screen in the role for 30, 40 years. Like, you can't tell me that you couldn't do something like that. And even if you did have, this is the last incarnation of the Doctor that we are ever going to have, well, you could do a spin-off series with David Tennant or Paul McGann or Matt Smith or whoever. Plus you've got the audios as well, which obviously were throughout the Wilderness years and are still going now. I mean, I don't like it, but apparently there's pre-Hartnell Doctors now, which is fucking stupid. However, there's a countless amount of brand new Doctors to get to know and love anyway, so there you are, a prequel series. But even if you don't have a direct continuation of Doctor Who, you've also got the in-universe stuff. You could do a series following UNIT, for example, or obviously there's Torchwood and the Sarah Jane Adventures you can't really do now, and I don't think it'd be right to do that. But you could make other spin-offs, like obviously Big Finish have done the Gallifrey series. We could have a series set entirely on Gallifrey. You could have a Dalek series or a Cyberman series or another K9 series. Like, there's all sorts of possibilities. So even if you don't have Doctor Who as it is, there is something that you can take from the Doctor Who universe and make that into something and continue the story that way. Fuck it, even bring Class back. I mean, don't, because it's shit, but you could. So obviously this was like a bit of a cop-out answer, but I don't think I'm wrong. Like, I think it is one of those shows that has written itself into existence continually. Like, you can't just not have Doctor Who on air, and even if it isn't physically on air, there is always going to be that chance and always going to be that possibility that someone, maybe it's someone watching this video right now, fuck it, maybe it's me, who's to say? But it literally could be anybody who will be like, it's been a while, let's bring it back. And they do. And, you know, obviously that's what happened in 2005, and I'm sure it'll happen again in 2035 or, you know, whenever it might be. And that's part of the reason why I love this show, and I get pissed off sometimes when people take it as serious as they do, because obviously I love it and I do take it seriously. But I think there is a limit, because there is so much Doctor Who out there, and there is always going to be new versions of Doctor Who or new versions of old Doctor Who or spin-offs of Doctor Who. Like, it doesn't matter what you like or dislike, there's always going to be something for somebody. And even if you don't like what's going on now, or you didn't like what was going on before, or, you know, whatever it might be, it doesn't fucking matter. Go out there and explore Doctor Who, because unfortunately, whilst the possibility is there that Doctor Who could go on forever, there is also a chance that it won't. And there is that possibility that yes, they could leave it open-ended, or yes, they could just kill off the Doctor. And what if some exec at the BBC or wherever it ends up says, yeah, we don't want to bring that back? Or what if someone just doesn't have a good enough idea, or someone brings it back and it flops? So whilst this video has been talking about Doctor Who ending, I did kind of want to end it on a positive note, or at least a bittersweet note, that there is so much Doctor Who out there. It will always carry on. There's always new stuff to discover, whether that is in the TV show, whether that is in the spin-offs, in the Big Finish, or in other audios, or in the books, whatever it might be, the comics even. It's always going to be around somewhere, somehow, possibly, probably, more than likely. But there's a chance that it isn't, so just like it anyway. I don't really know where I was going with this end point. I thought I was trying to be a little bit poetic, but clearly I'm just rambling because I'm a moron. But the answer to the question, can Doctor Who end? Probably not. That's all I needed to say. This didn't need to be dragged out like this. In the comments below though, guys, let me know what you think. How should Doctor Who end in your mind? If you knew that there was like the final ever episode coming up, how would you want to see it? Do you agree with what I said, that there isn't really an option to end it because it can always come back in some way, shape or form? Whatever it is, let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like on it, subscribe for more because I want 10k because I'm a greedy bastard. Social media and Patreon links will be in the description as always, so if you would follow me on any of those things, I would absolutely love you forever. But until next time guys, you take care of yourselves. Goodbye.